boy, it's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DSP News 2nd edition. I am your host, GTG. It's been a really long time since I've used this channel. For some of you guys who are still here, welcome. For some of you guys who are new, I used to use this channel as a bit of an archive for videos that I found that were interesting from Phil, that I figured eventually were going to get deleted, and I was right about that, at least some of it anyway. And it used to be a place I could convey my thoughts, something random from my main channel, and I just kind of fell out of using it. Now, I have plans for this channel now, because I was kind of inspired by a comment someone left the other day where I had uploaded I had mirrored Phil's 7 years of slander, yada yada yada. I'm still going over that. And someone had actually saw the video and they were like, oh, I thought this was going to be you talking about it. It feels, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little bit disappointed. And it feels bad, man. Sorry about that. But at the same time, it made me think, hey, man, I should really use this channel for something that's a little bit outside of my main channel. And that's what we're going to do. So my initial idea is I always wanted to deep dive into Phil's older content and talk about it. I was able to do that with Gout and Wine and some other things I was able to do on the other channel. But I think this is what I'll do. I'm gonna still do Gout and Wine on the main channel, or Wine and Doubt. So if you're familiar with all those things, that's still gonna happen on the main channel. But I'm gonna deep dive over here, and we'll talk more about what my channel plans are at the end of this video. Let me actually get into why you guys are here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna take you back to the year of 2009. Let's see here. I'm actually going to take you back to July 21st of 2009. The King is revealed. All about Darksydephil's YouTube. All of your questions answered. This is from the Darksydephil channel. That's the video we're going to go over today. The next video, though, the next video we're going to end up going over, that'll probably, I don't know when that'll come out, but, it'll be out probably in a couple days, will be from the King of Hate archives. It'll be from September 30th of 2010 when Phil got laid off. So look forward to that. One thing at a time, let's not get a little bit too far ahead of ourselves. I don't have any catchphrases or anything like that. If that's something that you're accustomed to, I'm sure I'll develop something as time goes on. But for right now, it's the first broadcast. If you guys are here, if you guys have been here for a while, I should say, thank you for kind of sticking around and whatnot. You never know where you'll find your inspiration. For anybody who's new to this, welcome. And let's go ahead and see what we have waiting for us. I'll see you guys in just a second.
DSP here, but you're probably shocked that we're finally meeting face to face, although you kind of look like my camera, which is a little odd, but anyway.
Alright guys, we are here with the original Darksydephil channel. July 21st of 2009. The King of Hate revealed all about Darksydephil's YouTube channel. All your questions are answered. It's been 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. 10 years. This is almost at Phil's beginning. And we're going to compare what 2009's Darksydephil is compared to now. Some of the stories that he's told us, his lore, as Almighty Tevin, praise be, would say. That's what the plan for this channel is going to be. I'm going to try very, very hard to upload up here on at least once or twice a week. And it'll be a history lesson for the both of us, or for all of us, really. Both of us, for all of us, to be honest. And I think it'll be fun, and I think it'll be insightful, and at least we have a place to refer to some of this stuff. So here we go.
Just kind of wanted to throw this out there. I know that thousands of people have been freaking out. What does DSP look like? Why does he not show his face? Well, first of all, you're all fags, just so you know. But the reason I haven't shown my face is because when I started this whole thing with YouTube, I didn't, think that it was going to blow up like it has. I didn't think that I was going to have 18,000 subscribers and 19 million channel views within like 7 months. I just thought it was a fun thing to do. You know, I knew Street Fighter 4 was coming out. I actually was one of the first people in the country to play Street Fighter 4 because they got it at Tokyo Game Action, which is an arcade that used to be in Rhode Island. Unfortunately, they've closed down now. And I just kind of wanted to throw it out there and get people interested. And next thing you know, my channel is just blowing up. And you know, another thing that a lot of people ask me is, why do I do what I do? Why do I make so many gameplay videos? And, you know, how do I have the time to do it? How do I have the money to do it? Well, it's a combination of two things. First of all, for the first time in a long time, I actually have a steady job that I fairly like. It pays me pretty decently. As you know, as you can see here, I am in my new condo, so obviously it pays me pretty decently that I can afford this place. But
well, that, and also, I mean, given given a look at how you look right now, Phil, you're not missing, you know, you're not missing no DSP Trizits. So yeah, I'm sure it's paying you pretty good, my dude. I'm pretty sure it's paying you pretty good. It decently is an understatement, to be honest with you. It must be paying you pretty well if you can afford a condo. So there you go on that.
That I do have a back injury.
Well, that and mommy and daddy were helping you too. Let's keep that 100.
I have mentioned it before in the channel comments. I've, you know, mentioned it in a couple videos, but this is pretty much probably going to be the highest rated video ever on my channel, just because I'm showing my face. So I might as well just, you know, kind of get some of the basics down.
Oh yeah, I like the fact too that his first face reveal, he's like, yeah, for all you guys who wanted to know what I look like, you know, you guys are fags. That's a great way to start off. But at the same time, I think that establishes what was going to come later. If you really think about it, that established what was to come later on. So to be honest, nobody should be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised at all. Oh man. All right, here we go.
I don't know how I hurt my back. I have a severely herniated disc in my lower back, and really there's no explanation. It's not like I fell. It's not like I was in a car accident. I was lifting some heavy shit, and I'm like, oh, and I, you know, nothing like that. Just, it happened. And so because of that, I have pain a lot when I stand up for, you know, longer periods of time, when I drive a car on the highway for, you know, more than just a couple seconds actually, or when I drive long distances, you know, at slower speeds. In addition to that, you know, obviously I can't do anything like dance or do any kind of, you know, strenuous physical activity like sports or anything like that, just very basic stuff. So pretty much since...
Well, we know most of that's a lie, because he says he has a lot of pain when he stands. You guys have seen him stand in his vlogs all the time. You've seen him do the dancing stuff. That's a meme. A lot of people use it as an overlay for other stuff. Excuse me. The sports, I probably believe, because that's a bit more strenuous. Him carrying stuff, well, he convinced his friends to do that, and girlfriend. Let's continue.
This injury came to light last fall. I tried to, you know, figure out what am I going to do with my time, because I can't go out much anymore. And so I decided to play video games. I mean, I love video games. I played them since I was a kid. My first game console was the Atari 7800, which I loved, and I've been playing them ever since. Now, admittedly, I have not been playing them as hardcore as I am.
Now, wait a second. Weren't you still going... Now that I think about it, because this is 2009, you were still going to the arcades, too. And at some of the Evo tournaments for Super Turbo, those were stand-up cabinets. To at least a few of them. So a few of those events. So, what? I'm really glad that I actually started doing this. And yet you don't... And how do you know that you have a herniated disc? I don't remember him saying that he was diagnosed with it. And if so, are you taking a medication for it? Which he's not saying. But, not to play devil's advocate, that might be one of the reasons why he drinks so much. He's trying to self-medicate. The plot thickens.
Now, you know, it's always just been like a casual thing. I grab a game here or there that I like, and of course I play every Street Fighter game. But, you know, I decided, hey, why not? I see a lot of people doing it online, and rather than me just sit here and play the games by myself, why not share it with people, you know, and be, you know, fun with the games and make jokes and do commentary and do something that other people aren't doing. You know, everyone else does playthroughs, and what do? They just fucking play the game. Well, I don't care. I don't want to see someone just playing the game. I want to hear what you think about the game. Is this a shitty game? Is this a game that's interesting to you? Would you recommend that other people buy this game? Or, you know, a lot of the times you go to these stupid review websites and all these schlubs have been fucking paid off by these game companies, and you can tell when you get a game like...
So here you go. He's had that negative idea about about game writers and so on and so forth for a very long time. And if you go back to what he just said, you know, yeah, you guys just sit there and play the game, but are you guys gonna, is the game a piece of shit? Is it this? Is it this? His first thought is always to the negative of a video game. Always. And it's something that he's carried on for the last 10 years. He's carried it with him. He never grew out of it. And he also has this assumption that everybody's paid off, which most people are paid off, not everybody, and whatnot. But he never really got out of this thought process. He held on to it because, to be honest, people commended him on it. They commended him on his negativity, and mistaking that it's being real, when really it's kind of just being stupid, to be honest. And yet he wonders why in 2019 he can't get a look. He can't get an opportunity. It was all, like I said, all this was from the very beginning. Very interesting. All right, here we go.
LittleBigPlanet. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hateful comments for that one. But a pretty average game overall that got these amazing glowing reviews about how you can make your own levels and all this shit. And when it comes down to it, the game's 6 hours long. The level maker isn't that good. And pretty much you're bored with the game after one playthrough. I mean, the average gamer did not enjoy that game. And I tried to portray that in my playthrough of that game. And hopefully,
but how do you know that? And who did you speak to outside of yourself to bring you to that assumption? How did you get to that conclusion? Are you on a forum at some time, at some point, I should say, of time? Were you on a forum talking to other gamers about it? Or does, yet again, everybody thinks the way you do, and that's what's proceeded all the way up till now? Oh boy, this is going to be fun. This is going to be great. Oh, Phil. I guess I'm going to have to bring the baking saying over here too, because GodDawg. For real, for real.
People are watching my playthroughs because they understand that I am very honest with what I do. So that's pretty much why I do what I do. I love the games.
You being honest and you being correct are two different things. And don't get me wrong, you can have an opinion, and it is your opinion, and it is what it is. But there are times, though, Phil, when you're blatantly wrong. You're blatantly wrong, and you know it. But you automatically assume that people will back you up on it despite the fact. Because you're trying to stay face, or this is some pathetic attempt at whatever.
And, you know, I hope to keep up with them. So what's up with me? Well, let's see. Well, today I actually got my first condo bill, my first bill from the mortgage company, and yeah, I almost shit my pants, I have to admit. It was pretty fucking huge, and now realizing that I actually have to pay that amount every single month until I sell this condo eventually, a little bit scary of a thought, but you know what? It's worth it. This fucking place is awesome. You know, my own place.
Wait. you basically so you got your first condo bill, and it was then it hit you on how much you owe and how real the situation is. You should have realized that when you were signing the mortgage and everything over, bruh. You waited till now to realize how real your situation is? Holy shit. And all this weight that you were carrying, goddamn, you were flabby back then. All this weight that you were carrying and shit, you never thought about putting all those DSP Changed to the side and be like, yo, I need to save my money. Not just for my bills, but just in case shit happens. Like what's this, 2009? You were what? What are you now, Phil? You're 37? Yeah, this is July of 2009. So what? You were what? You were 20, yeah, you're 37 now. You were 27 back then. And life still hadn't set in for you yet? Holy shit, you were almost 30. You were almost 30, and you're as immature and impotent now as you were back then. Holy shit, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this now. I've said it before, but I'll tell you, I don't know if I've said it on this channel. I don't think I have. YouTube was the worst thing that ever happened to Phil. Easy money was the worst thing that ever happened to Phil. By far.
Well, you're going to get to finally see is I'm going to get to do videos like this one where, you know, I have my own place. I have free reign. I don't have roommates. There's no parents around. I can just fucking do whatever I want and film whatever I want and use this space to my advantage. And I really think that eventually it is going to come to my advantage. Do I only plan on doing video game playthroughs in the future? The answer is no. I've done a lot, obviously, and I do want to plan to continue to do those. However, I don't want to make it so that every day I come home from work or from school and I feel obligated to make videos that day. I know a lot of you have been hooked on the videos, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate, you know, the viewer base, and that you guys come back no matter what I'm doing to view me. But I don't want to just play video games. I want to do other stuff. I want to travel. I don't know if you've checked out my alternate channel, The King of Hate HD, yet. But, you know, I went on a trip to Chicago, and I took videos there. I go to different places and, you know, joystick tutorials, because that's something I'm interested in. I got a bunch of modded sticks actually under my coffee table here that I'm sure you'll see eventually. Just crazy stuff. I want to go to, like, gaming conventions. I want to go to, you know, these Comic-Con. I want to do this stuff and make videos and give you my honest reactions to stuff that's going on, because I think not only would it be interesting, it would be pretty funny, and, you know, a lot of people ask for that kind of stuff. They say, we like the games you play, but we don't necessarily want to always see you playing games. You're ever going to do anything else. And who knows, maybe I'll do movie reviews, maybe I'll do skits, maybe I'll do, I mean, the possibilities are endless. And that is the cool thing about YouTube, that you can kind of throw anything out there and you get that massive viewer base. Please do check out my partner channel. It's The King of Hate HD. This video I'll be posting on both the Darksydephil, which is the game playthrough channel, and the King of Hate HD channel, so that everyone gets exposed and everyone kind of gets a little primer of, you know, what I'm doing here, why I do it, and a little bit of information about me. To answer the question everyone asks, no, I don't record straight from the feed. I have a digital camera, which I'm using right now. It's a Sony HD digital camera. For details on what the camera is, go to my Darksydephil channel. Everything's on the left-hand side that you could ever possibly want to fucking ask me. I don't understand why people just can't read, but hopefully now, throwing this video out there, people will actually go there rather than ask me silly questions. So anyway, thanks for viewing. Thanks for subscribing. If this is the first time, you know, that you're seeing this, I hope that this kind of explains what I do. I want to do a lot of different things. I want to do some collaborative reviews, actually. I have a lot of funny friends who I think, you know, it would be beneficial to have them come over when I'm playing the games to kind of give their takes, or maybe even take turns playing a game, or if there's a multiplayer game where we can play, like maybe Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. That might be a great idea to have a bunch of us playing it together rather than me just playing it by myself or with people online. But I don't know yet. You know, I haven't decided. It's something to mull over, so...
Okay, so... Alright, so taking from... Okay, just taking all this in. As it pertains to the audience, or his fan base, whatever you want to call it, you can already hear how annoyed he is with them not doing what he wants them to do. Now, I wasn't around for how the layout was back then, but I've seen screenshots and so on and so forth of what YouTube looked like, and it was pretty engaging by the looks of it. It's a shame that YouTube ended up getting rid of it, because it literally allowed you to personalize it to your whims, which is kind of a cool feature, to be honest. It's a shame they got rid of that, but it is what it is. But I can also understand, because like I said, I've seen screenshots. I can understand why most people wouldn't even look at that. They just want to go to the video that they want to go to and then, you know, plug and play. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't really have time to be sitting here looking over the extra nonsense. And then if you think about it, thinking about what Phil is and how Phil is now, I can understand why he kind of keeps regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again. He's been conditioned to do so. But how irritated he is with that kind of speaks volumes. Also, some of the interactions, as it pertains to some of the questions that are posed to him, you could tell he's irritated by. He's not a very people person, and you're seeing it here early, to be honest. But this is all in hindsight, being that, you know, we all know what he is now. Another thing is, and I think this is very interesting and very fair to point out, is how he always had the thought in his mind that I'm going to use my friends as content. And then when he was able to monetize, you know what I mean, when he came back, got into the partner deal, you can kind of understand why he was able to do what he was able to do. And you can understand how he was able to push out the amount of content he was able to push out on top of the amount of money that he was making, which was ridiculous back then. He lies about it all the time now, but back in the day, he made stupid money. When you're making, for example, when you're making, you know, a few $100s, a few $100s. So we're talking about, you know, $300, $400, $500 for a DSP tries it back then. And then he has the nerve to tell us that on the Project 7 videos, which have hundreds of thousands of views, he only made $200 or $300 on those. When the DSP tries it's only have maybe 10 or 15 or 20,000 views. That gives you an idea of the amount of money he was pulling in and how quickly he was pulling it in. Because remember, the volume of videos this guy was regurgitating was like, what, 30 videos a day? Sometimes more? That's a ridiculous amount of money when the real money started to get up there. That's a ridiculous amount of cash to drum in. A ridiculous amount.
Oh, one more thing. All you idiots saying that I'm a morbidly obese, what are you, fucking stupid? No, I mean, I got a chubby face, I always have since I was a kid, but I'm not morbidly obese. Get the fuck out.
That's not true. So if you guys have seen some of his tournament footage, or some of his tournament pictures that are floating around, you can find on Kiwi Farms, as well as a couple other places. He was skinnier than this. And the funny thing is he used to say, he's saying right here, oh, I used to always have a skinny face, or a chubby face. I was always a little bit chubby or whatever. But you told people that you used to be jacked, bruh. You told us you used to be jacked. And when you were actually supposedly supposed to be jacked, you were actually scrawny. And now you're just, well, you're heavy-setted. And now it looks like you're just, I don't know, anorexic or some shit now. Holy shit, Phil. Well, you're not even anorexic. You're still kind of fat now. You're just not as fat, but you are kind of fat. You're definitely you're definitely, like, not healthy looking, either which way. So, goddamn, Phil was sensitive back then. I guess no surprise, really.
I mean, you guys, that asshole who made some joke about me looking like a Rufus. Really, to some of the internet people just need to get lives, and, you know, you gotta deal with that when you get viewership like I do, so it's cool. People like to make jokes, people like to make fun. You have to understand that what I do, especially my Street Fighter 4 game matches, is it's all for fun. It's all a joke. It's not always 100% ultimately fucking serious. I'm kind of playing for the camera because people like that. It's funny to make jokes, to complain about a joystick, to say there's lag when sometimes there isn't, sometimes there isn't, or whether you can see it or not. That's just funny, you know? It just
no, it's not. No, it's not funny. And your jokes weren't funny either. That's the reason why most of them never got over. That actually leads into what they're doing, what's going on with you now. Just because you had a positive reaction from a few kids who didn't know no better is one thing. But it didn't age well, and you didn't age with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't evolve with your content. You didn't try to make your jokes better. You went with the same cheesy, lowbrow, offensive jokes that just, it became annoying. And in truth, as time went on, it proved that it wasn't a joke. That's what you really were. That's what you really thought. That's how you really act. You exposed yourself.
Sitting there playing a game. Wow, what's so fucking interesting about that? But me adding funny comments, jokes, things like that, ridiculous things that I just say out of nowhere, that's where the fun comes from. So I just want to say thanks a lot to everyone. I hope to entertain you in the future. Please go to my partner channel, THEKINGOFHATED, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there, because hopefully...
Woo! I forgot about this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an ongoing thing, as one of many things that's considered ongoing. Oh, how old was Panda Lee? You did do this thing with the ads. Yada, 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 yada. Oh, I'm so glad I did this. Yay! This is one of the situations that Phil flat out denies. He didn't get kicked off of Google AdSense because he asked people to click the ads. That was a lie. That was trolls that had screwed him over. Or that was people who did it because they wanted to and he had no control over it. He didn't dog whistle. He didn't encourage people to do it. They did it all on their own accord. Not now, they didn't.
Fingers crossed. That actually starts giving me some money back for what I'm doing. I mean, it's not cheap to do what I'm doing. I bought a lot of games, a lot of equipment, and now I have my own condo, which is basically my studio, to do whatever the hell I want. So, you know, anything that you can give back is much appreciated. I also do have the PayPal donation on the left-hand side of my Darksydephil channel. It explains how to go to PayPal and what email address to send a donation to, darksydephil@hotmail.com. I've gotten many donations, and as I said before, if you send me a donation of, you know,
ooh! Look at that face shot. And another thing that I think it's interesting to bring up is how he recently, like early 2019, which is this year, or late 2018, he denied that bullshit too, about having a Patreon button or a PayPal button. Sorry, having a PayPal button or donations and accepting shit, so on and so forth. But then in the last retrospective stream that he did, a video actually popped up talking about it, and Phil didn't know, and he immediately was like, "Oh, you guys don't want to see this is boring. You guys don't want to hear about how I get donations back in those days." Like literally desperately, desperately tried to skip that video. Oh, Phil. I told you I was going to end up getting you, Phil, in the end. I told you your past is what's going to hang you. You give Phil enough rope and he'll hang himself. Oh, boy.
And $15, $20 or more, I'll mention your name in a video because I do appreciate that. So, thanks a lot. Oh, there's my token burp for you to end this little video. This will not be the last that you'll see of me, obviously. I hope that, you know, as I do things and I go places, maybe I'll interview people, maybe I'll make joke skits and things, and like, you know, maybe just rant if I have a bad day at fucking work or something in the news pisses me off, and I'll just be able to kind of have a vent to let go of that emotion. So, thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the future. What's up?
Oh boy. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut that. That's for the next video. Holy shit. Oh, this is gonna be good. So, yet again, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of what we're going to be contending with moving forward. Like I said, we're gonna deep dive. We're gonna look through his videos. We're gonna find out what's what. We're gonna have a good time with it. At least I hope so. Holy shit. Holy shit, this is gonna be amazing. The link to this video will be down in the description. Essentially I have to start that all over again, but hopefully it's a bit more organized than I've been known to do so, since I'll be pretty much handling the reins on this channel, which is a good thing. I need to, you know, it's nice having people to help me out, but I should try to run something solo for a little bit. I'll have more appreciation, I think, for the people that are around me. Not to say that I don't appreciate it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I think that's what the situation is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do it like this. There's a couple playlists that have some gems in it from back in the day. We're going to... It's not going to be literally year by year by year. I'm going to skip around. But we'll see how it all plays out. Hopefully it works out. And hopefully we have a good time doing it. Hopefully we learn something. You know what I mean? Because like Tevin, for example, drops us the lore all the time. You know what I mean? But now... I want to try to educate myself more on that lore so I can contribute a little bit more to it, and that in turn helps everybody. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for Tevin, I wouldn't have even really considered on some of that lore, you know what I'm saying, unless it was something related to what I was talking about. And I'd like to think that me doing this will help me better in the news broadcast that I do on the other channel. So hopefully it kind of all comes together in a nice little nexus, if you will. Okay, so real quick, as it pertains to my ideas for this channel, just as I said, we're going to deep dive into some of Phil's old stuff and hopefully give us a better idea of what the individual is. Like, you know what I'm saying, people say that I'm pretty good at predicting at what he does and what he doesn't, but to be honest with you, plenty of people are. You know what I'm saying? Lightside Bill's very good at it. James the Lesser's very good at it. There's a lot. Agent Proper of the DIA is. We're all pretty good at it, but all of our history with him is different. You know what I mean? Like, my general idea and knowing of Phil is from the FGC. Agent Proper used to be a former fan of his, so he's been around for a long ass time. I think James the Lesser kind of stumbled on Detractor content and went off that. I think LSB kind of falls into that category too. So we all kind of have a different background as it pertains to Phil. And Phil's very predictable. That's one of the main things. He's very predictable and he's a creature of habit. So all I'm trying to do is find the origin of those habits, so we can all basically get a better understanding of what Phil does. And it allows us to cut off his avenues. It'll keep him honest, if you will. It's an FGC term. It'll keep him honest. And I think that's the way to go about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to talk your ear off anymore. I'm going to get on to this next broadcast, but thank you guys very much for listening in. And I'll see you guys for the next one. This is DSP News 2nd edition. Always late, never breaking. Well, it's going to be always late. It's going to be always late. Yeah, always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A part of the GTG Network and Productions family. I'm your host / Anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. See you later.